There are sites towards which we are pulled with a strong gravitational force. These can be landmarks, sites of pilgrimage, monuments, and other kinds of historic places. What is this force that pulls us towards these sites? Collapsing clouds of gas and dust, the series I'm showing here, is looking at this force. What makes a site historic? And what is it that pulls us towards this site? So I've looked at different historic sites around the world, and they range from memorials, monuments, landmarks, and sites of pilgrimage. And the premise of the sculptural pieces I present is that what makes us gravitate towards them is the weight of human movement over them. So we feel this previous human movement over a place. So what I do is I go to these sites and I collect traces of this human movement. So I collect dust from historic sites, and then I look in the dust for biological debris, skin, hair that has been left, and other secretions that have been left by people who have visited this place. And in a lab, I create the conditions for them to form small stones that, in a way, have the weight of the place. So from this dust, from this human remains of these historic sites, I create sculptural pieces that have the same, that claim to have the same weight. One of the sites I looked at, one of these historic sites, was in Beirut. So Beirut is like any other site in the world. There are historic sites, there are personally important sites. So I treat it like any other historic site. The series I'm showing here is from a landmark in Lebanon that is being turned into a museum for the history and memory of the city. So it's this building that has been identified as a historic site. And in its renovation, it was totally cleaned. And I went and took remaining dust from the place. So in Beirut, I worked on this building, which I treated like any other historic site. Yes, so I treat it like any other historic place.